What was that? What was that? What did we just watch? Genuinely, don't let the smile fool you. I'm really upset, but you can't crash out on the internet, and that's not what you want. Like I'm somebody who really believes in uniting. Generally speaking, I want to be united in everything, right? Like, and I especially believe that if Africa we are going to turn around the notion that we have, right? If we're going to turn around the view that the world has of us, we can't be doing things like this. You simply can't do this, right? And I went into today's games with a lot of optimism. I had so much optimism that we could possibly have maybe 4 or 5 teams from Africa going into the quarterfinals, because every single African team in this draw at this moment going into this quarterfinal had a tough opponent. But if they got through that tough opponent, there was a good chance that they would be able to attack their opponents. But you look at Congo, if they beat England, they were going to face Mexico. And that's not an easy fixture, especially since Mexico are the host nation. But they can do it. They can do it. It's not something that was beyond their reach. Everybody put this. I saw the statistics. England had about an 87% chance to win this game. And I don't want to make it I don't want to make this about Congo too much, because in as much as I feel they did let themselves down a bit. We have to maintain some level of objectivity and realize that this is Congo's first World Cup in about 50 years. That's not easy. That's not easy to come and just do the magic art, right? But countless times within this game, right, there were several moments that Congo could have stepped on the English necks, broken it, and gone through. And they could have gone through at 2-0 when it was 1-1. There were multiple times that we saw had the chance to press the final centre back, and he always just let off. He always just let off. And I don't understand how they gave the game away. Noah Sadiki in the box, right, for that first Hurricane goal. If you are going to be in the box and do absolutely nothing, get out of the box, okay? I am not a professional footballer, right? But in the small football that I've played in my life, if for at Ashesi at Astros in Jolu here, every single time, right? You want people to come back and help you defend. We are a team. We need to defend together. We need to attack together. Even if all 11 of us aren't bombing forward, we need to have a structure to it. But if you are standing there, if you are standing in a defensive space, what that means is that you are going to do what is required of you as you are in that space. It doesn't make sense for me to occupy the space between a fullback and a centre back, for example, if we are going the other way and we are attacking, right? And I don't make the run in behind that space, so I don't peel off to try and get the ball. If so far as I'm there, I have to do something that warrants me being there, being in that position. The same way Noah Sadiki is in that position. He has to jump. He has to jump to get that ball. No matter how difficult it is, right? He just has to make the attempt to get it, because if he just tries to hook it a little bit, right? Maybe Kane's header isn't that clean. Maybe he hesitates, and that gives Tuanzebe the chance to catch up to him. Tuanzebe lost his marker, but if you realize, and this ties back into what I'm saying, Tuanzebe can't go and catch Kane to where he is, because he has to believe that his teammates in that position, Noah Sadiki, is going to be able to win that. You just can't do that, right? And like, Noah Sadiki is also quite young, so you know what? We'll put that down to rookie mistake, right? The second goal, Anthony Gordon did absolutely nothing with the ball, and they should have gotten it clear before it reached Kane. I don't think he should have been allowed to take the shots in the first place. But sometimes, right, the truth is you just have to hold your hands up and say fair play. In this England game, although it was disappointing, you can say fair play, because there are not a lot of strikers in the world who are able to lose their marker with the way Kane did, right, and hit the ball. Lionel Mpasi was brilliant, right? Made how many saves? 9 or what? It doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter. Okay, he joins a list of goalkeepers in the top 10 most saves ever in a World Cup knockout, right? But for what? For what? And it's really painful when you work so hard and it comes to naught. Obviously, nothing we ever do in this world is for naught, right? You never know who was watching, you never know who you have inspired, all that, right? Yeah, blah blah blah. But in the moment, and right now, right, you wanted to go to the round of 16. You were in the round of 16 for 70 minutes. If given the hydration breaks, football is basically now played in quarters. You were up for all three quarters. You were up in the fourth quarter. You don't concede a goal for three quarters and then you concede two. I guess that's football, but down to that, right? You can't say much about it, like I said. Especially Kane's second goal. I do think that was more down to quality than anything else. I will point out that there was a passage of play on that second goal. That's when the keeper had saved the ball from Bellingham's shot, right? About three Congo players watched as the ball just skipped away before it went to Gordon, and then Gordon did all that, and then Kane scored. But we can say that, oh, you know what, fair play Congo. England it's a much tougher side. We didn't give you a chance, right? Senegal, we have been begging for you to be African champions, insisting that Morocco achieves this, right? Morocco would have never allowed this to happen to them. And this is what is holding us back. This is what is holding us back. And I I genuinely don't know if who we should be pointing fingers at, because within those goals I see so many individual errors within those moments, but I also see a lack of a tactical nous from the coach in that moment. I don't know if I can blame him for this, right? I don't think that might be fair to, but I just want to point this out. Lamine Kamara came on and he played against Senegal, guys. He came on, immediately got a yellow card, and then slid in the box to give away a penalty in the last minute of the game. And you go back to that. But more importantly, right, the first goal that Belgium scored, it was just generally poor marking and a good finish by Lukaku, right? They didn't do enough to prevent him from shooting, and he scored. Now, what do? Any manager with sense, not any manager with sense, any manager who realizes the situation he's in with a World Cup round of 16 at stake, you know what they'll tell you? Stop every cross. Every cross that is going to come into the box, stop it. When you watched the England and Congo game, once England went up, did you see a single Congo cross come into the box? Any cross that came into the box was easily dealt with in that game. They didn't have any threats from a cross, because that's what you do when you have a few minutes to go and you have an objective. When you have something to fight for, that's what you do. You stop the cross from getting into the box, and any cross that gets into the box, you must make sure with every fiber in your being that you get to that ball first. I do think that a Senegalese player was pushed by Tielemans. I have no idea how VAR missed that, right? But you stop. So number one, you don't stop the cross. You don't get a Senegalese player to the ball first. Goalkeeper. If you are coming, take the ball. One thing that really annoys me, again, as a centre back, is a bad goalkeeper. And that's not to say Diao is bad. Diao had actually had a good game up until that point, right? He had actually done well. But if you are going to come for the ball, claim it. He missed the ball completely. And that is what allowed Tielemans to get the header and score. Tielemans did push somebody. And like I said, I don't know how it wasn't checked, but the goalkeeper has to get to that ball first. If he stayed on his line, that's the easiest catch in the world. If you are coming, you have to, God. And in that moment, right, now it's 2-2 and nobody knows what's going on. We are thinking it's going to go to penalties, right? And you give away a daft penalty, right? Why are you sliding in the box from behind? I think they should have let the cross come in the first place. They wasted so many chances when they were 2-0 up. They wasted so many chances when they were 1-0 up. Even when it was 2-2, they had some good chances and they missed all of them. And it's 3-1. It's 3-1 to Europe right now. And the truth is that now we have to pray that Algeria beats Switzerland. How many African countries have played so far? 5? Morocco, Congo, South Africa, and obviously now Senegal. I don't think I've missed anybody, right? And out of 4, only one has gone through to the round of 16. There will be 16 other teams in the next round, and we can only say by now, after 4 teams playing, that only one African country is going to be there for sure. And the other games don't fill me with much confidence either. Looking at how we've been able to throw these away, of course, we are not all a collective team, right? We are not Africa FC, but deep down, we all know we're Africa FC. Nobody expects much from Cape Verde against Argentina, right? Because Messi is unreal. That is probably the only thing that we can give out right now. Like, Messi is unreal. Ghana against Colombia is tough. I do think Ghana can get a result, right? But again, it's a tough game, right? You think about Egypt and Australia, and that's the most winnable game left. That's the most winnable game that we have left. And you have Algeria and Switzerland, right? And I won't be surprised at all if this Algeria-Switzerland game takes a similar path as the other two. And the part that is paining me about all of this is that people will come back to this and say, oh, no, look what happens when they play the European teams. They lack the quality to finish the job. And that is, and when I hear that, I'm going to be so angry. But they are right. They are right. Because when you are in a situation where you give somebody ammunition to talk against you, right? It's like, how should I explain it? This is like, it's a very it's a very harsh example, but let's say you are somebody who has been accused of eating dog meat, right? And you are vehemently denying it, and then they come to your house and they find dog meat in your freezer. They say, no, it's not mine, I'm keeping it for a friend. You look dumb. You look dumb if you do that. You can't be in the positions that we are in, right, and not see it through. You can't do that, especially against teams that they don't have anything on you. Because let's look at this, right? My main thing, and I was telling my mom, who was also screaming at the TV when Congo were in front, that England have one strategy in this World Cup, because this is all they can do. If you watch every single chance that they created, every single big chance they created, apart from Harry Kane's through ball, was from a cross. And that's why, again, I really don't understand the decision not to take Trent and Maguire to this World Cup. If that's your strategy, they do everything they can to create a wide overload, possibly try and find space, right? But more often than not, they are going to put the ball in the box. They are going to put the ball in the box and hope for a header, hope for a touch, hope for anything to take it over the line. But the truth is that is all that they have. And that's why they struggled so much against Ghana, because Ghana, Jonas Sajite and I've forgotten his name, Opoku, are huge and they will head every ball away. I think that's actually why we struggled a lot against Croatia in our previous game, but that's besides the point. Knowing this, right, again, I don't understand how they just couldn't. They just couldn't. And you look at this Belgium team that took off their best attacking players in Kevin De Bruyne and Jeremy Doku, and everybody's going to be praising Rudy Garcia. And honestly, well done to him. This Senegal victory is more painful than the Congo one, in my opinion, because Senegal was a done deal. I was expecting the title of this video to be Africa 2, Europe 2, with Algeria, Switzerland being the decider. But as it stands, we've lost, like, in terms of facing European teams, right? This was our chance to rewrite so many narratives. This was our chance to show people that the gap isn't that big. But all this result will do is reinforce the stereotypes that are there. And I am greatly disappointed. We don't have any African games tomorrow, I believe, right? I think we have to wait until Friday before we watch Cape Verde. So I'm really disappointed. I'm really upset. I'm really sad. I am every negative emotion you can be right now. You know, if you have my number, call me, text me, because I definitely need a shoulder to cry on in this moment. Yeah, thank you. See you guys. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thanks.